There are two major events this week that traders have to be aware of. And number one is the FOMC meeting tomorrow. Think of these events as we're going through their details as when the swing trading window will reopen, because the volatility has a really good chance of closing the distance to the support levels that we would like to buy the dip in. And why do we want to buy the dip? As we've been talking about in previous videos, we focus on uptrends. This is the performance chase part of the year. We're going into the Santa rally. Strength should remain something that we want to focus on for long calls, right? Now, when Jerome Powell hits the mic at 2:30, right, we will, and this is Eastern time, we will already have received a quarter point cut. Now, I'm not being predictive in nature. This is where the data says we're going to be. And you can see here, 95.4% expectation of that quarter point cut. That's for tomorrow's December 18 meeting. But this is a two-part event because at 2:30 Eastern, Jerome has a press conference where he's going to be asked a lot of questions. And this is going to be pertinent because the January 29 meeting has about an 80% expectation of a hold, right? So this is the hold column, the 425 to 450. This is where we'll be tomorrow. And if we're going to see another quarter point cut, this column has to absolutely start to move higher. So when you're watching tomorrow at 2:30, the press conference, this January 29, 400 to 425 column is the one we want to see continue to grow in size so that we can expect another quarter point cut going into next year. Now, why is this important? Because the market is a forward-looking machine. And right now, if we take a look at what is strong, it's airlines, consumer discretionary, regional banks, communication, and financials. What's really been interesting month to date is how much certain sectors have struggled. And the one that I'm going to point out, really two standouts in terms of struggling, are regional banks and financials. I would not recommend focusing on those two for the next 2 weeks. So this is kind of another follow-up to the video we did last week, which is the do not watch list, right? So take financials, take regional banks off the list. For the next couple of weeks, I would actually start to look a little bit more closely at XLK names like Apple and Microsoft. This semiconductor here is a little deceptive because this is really just AVGO. This is that massive move in Broadcom after earnings that's propelled the semiconductor sector to the number 2 spot. So that's not really a useful sector. Where I have been finding the most number of opportunities time and time again has been XLY, and that is where Amazon and Tesla reside. This one here, XLC, this would be a great place to look, certainly at names like Google. XLP has been Walmart and Costco, right? XLK, as I mentioned earlier, is Apple and Microsoft strength. The NASDAQ is most definitely the strongest sector at this stage in the game. So if you have not been focusing on tech as a whole, one of the easiest ways to do it is don't worry about being a stock picker. Just go ahead and grab QQQ or NASDAQ on a pullback, which kind of brings us full circle to that's what I want to trade, but when is the window open to trade it? Tomorrow after 2:30 would be the first window. The second window is going to be all day Friday, because that is the big triple witching options expiration day, where for one day, the main goal, the main driving force of price movement is going to be how to leave the most number of options worthless. So there's going to be a pretty big move towards levels that would render most options at zero as the expiration for the quarter in futures, in stocks, stock options and futures options, right? We already have the roll in the futures contracts. Futures options are expiring, as are a number of third Friday of the month stock and ETF options. It's a big expiration. Be aware that the pullback on Friday would probably be ideal, especially with the follow through that we would expect going into next week. So stay bullish, stay patient. Wait for the dips, and those are the two windows and the main sectors that I'll keep an eye on. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.